Hey, tonight we're going to talk about this common theme that's in my inbox, and it struck a chord with me, and I really pondered how I was going to address it, because it's one thing to coach someone when I'm on the phone with them, because I just channel and the answers come, the scenarios come when it's one-on-one. But in this situation where people say, Angela, how do I make myself feel better? How do I not fly off the handle so quickly? Well, you've got to understand something. You've got to understand how things work so that you know how to fix it. If I come along and I tell you, here's the 4 steps. Stop what you're doing, breathe, tell yourself something else, and look for what you just told yourself. I hope I remember those steps. But if I tell you that, it's like slapping a coat of paint on a rusty bike. Within a couple weeks, the paint starts to flake off. Why? Because you have to get rid of the rust underneath. You've got to scrape it down to the bare metal so that when you put a new coat of paint on there, it actually sticks. So right now, I've got that putty knife, I don't know what you call it, and we're scraping off the rust. That's what we're doing, we're scraping. And here's how we scraping. If you are stuck in the loop of feeling sad, it is because you have programmed yourself to do that. Oh, did I now, Angela? Let's not get our feathers ruffled. This is part of the scraping. Let me tell you how you did it. When you get up off the couch to walk somewhere, do you have to learn how to walk? Or do you just do it? You just do it. Why do you just do it? Because you did what? Learned how to walk. You programmed, you taught yourself how to walk. How did you teach yourself to walk? You got up and you fell down. You got up and you fell down. To the point that 10 or 12 times after you did that, your brain said, oh, you keep getting up, so you must want to stay up. Let me help you. Your brain is a good companion. You told it, I want to walk. Why? By getting up every time you fell. Every single time. That's what you did. You told you because you couldn't talk as a baby. But it was your action. It was your repetitive action of getting up that told your brain, I want to stay up. I want to walk. And your brain made you do it because it was what you wanted. Then let's look at sadness. Remember I told you, all is mind. So if you're thinking sad thoughts, you're going to see sad things because like thoughts attract like things. Right? So remember, it takes about 21 days to form a new habit. So within that 21 days, how many times are you thinking sad thoughts? Right? We think sad thoughts because we worry, we ruminate, we're human, we think all the time. So you're thinking sad thoughts, you're seeing sad things. You're thinking sad thoughts, you're seeing sad things. What are you telling your brain? You're telling your brain, because every time you think a sad thought, you see a sad thing. You're telling your brain, show me more sad things. Why? Because you keep thinking sad things. Remember, you keep thinking it. That is how you've programmed yourself to be stuck in the loop of thinking sad and seeing sad. This is why it feels like you can't break out of it. So how do you break out of it? When you fall down, or when you think a sad thought, What do you want? You want to feel better. So every time you think a sad thought, you say, I want to feel good. Oh, but I'm thinking a sad thought. Hey, I want to feel good. Show me something that makes me feel good. Let me hear a song that makes me feel good. Let me hear a joke that makes me feel good. Oh, but I'm feeling sad. No. Show me something that makes me feel good. Let me think of something that makes me feel good. You do that 7, 8, 12 times. What are you telling your brain? You're telling your brain, you want to feel good. Why do you want to feel good? Because you keep looking for something to feel good. Because every time you have a sad thought, you keep saying, no, I want to feel good. Every time you have a sad thought, it's like falling down. You say, hey, get up. I want to feel good. You fall down. I think a sad thought. Get up. I want to feel good. That is how you reprogram your mind to think good thoughts. If you think a good or happy thought, what's going to happen according to the law? You're going to see it, because like thoughts attract like things. So don't be offended because I told you that you've programmed your mind to do something. But that's what we all do. This is why I tell you, you have to be aware of what you're doing. So if I tell you, stop thinking that way, I'm just slapping a coat of paint on you. But now what we've done, we've scraped away the rust. We're scraping away the rust. So now, every single time something annoys you, right? And you start to lose your cool. Now this is the kicker for me, because sometimes I tend to have a very short temper. And I'm like, ooh, I want to be calm. So every time, remember, it's not the falling down that is the problem. There is no problem. It's not the falling down. It is the getting up. That action is what you are programming into your mind. So every time that child falls and gets up, you're telling your brain, I want to walk. So every time you think a sad thought, you tell yourself, I want to feel good. Show me something. Let me hear something that makes me feel good. And pretty soon, you start to see things that make you feel good. You start to remember things that make you feel good. For instance, we have this bird in the neighborhood. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it says, hoo hoo. And my son and I were outside, and my son says, hey, Mom, it sounds like he's saying love you. And I was like, I guess. So the bird started again. Woo-hoo. My son said, me too. And I was like, me too? He says, yeah. Every time the bird says, I love you, I say, me too. And I was like, love you, me too. And every single time my son and I hear that, even when I'm out by myself and I hear that bird, I say, me too. Why? Because it makes me feel good. And when I have fallen down into either anger or fallen down into sadness or fallen down into worry, I get up and I say, me too, because I remember that bird. And when I start to remember the bird, because it makes me feel good, what does my brain do? My brain brings me more things that make me feel better. So, what did we learn tonight? We learned that you cannot slap a new coat of paint on a rusty bike, because that kind of thing does not stick. Right? We're going to have flaky paint. I don't do flaky. So you need to be aware that you're programming your mind every second. And this is why when you think it, you see it. Because like thoughts attract like things. See how the law permeates your entire existence? And when you understand that that's how the law works, you then say, okay, so I'm thinking this way. That means I've fallen down. I want to get up. I want to feel good. It is the getting up that programs your mind. You're redirecting the small child that is your mind into doing what you want it to do. So don't say, don't run. No. Because all you hear is run. What do you want? Walk. Command. Say what it is that you want. And sometimes it's not your words. It is your actions. It is the falling and rising. So I trust that made a little bit of sense. Just a wee tiny bit. If it made sense, let me know. If it didn't make sense, let me know. And I will meditate and find a way of saying it that resonates with you. Much love.